ready, Brenda? Are you okay? Cool. Over to you, Tony.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. Bear with me a second, I've got my video showing. Good morning. Yeah, so I'm just going to go through a presentation. I wasn't completely sure who the audience was going to be this morning, so I've got a little bit of presentation to cover the 10 minutes and a video to show. So I'll go through that, and then clearly afterwards, if there's any questions, then say we can go through them afterwards. So my name's Tony Elliott, and my job role is Awareness and Voice Manager with Caring Together. Caring Together is a charity, and we're based in St Ives in Cambridgeshire, and we cover Cambridgeshire, Peterborough and Norfolk, supporting unpaid carers across that area. And really, one of our biggest missions is support people before, during and after their caring role. In terms of identification and carers facts, on average, it takes a carer 2 years to identify themselves. And this is mainly, as some of you know, if you're carers on the call, as you all know, it's very much that people don't see themselves as a carer, and I was one of them people. I never saw myself as a carer to my father, who passed away many years ago now, but as I say, it was only when I moved into this job I actually realised I had a caring role for 18 months. So I realise now when speaking to people really that identification and identifying yourself a carer is quite challenging, and also people don't always like the label carer. But the important thing is, and a lot of the work we do in awareness is to make people and professionals to be asking the right questions, and probably to ask things in a slightly different way, because obviously identifying carers is the crucial thing in terms of getting them support. How many carers, adult carers, are there in the UK? Currently, the number's 7 million. You'll see different numbers around because this was taken from the 2011 census. Clearly, we had a census earlier this year, and we're going to be in a position where, as I say, that number will probably be increasing dramatically, and certainly over the pandemic, we would expect to see an increase. Just wanted to touch on GP surgery, because obviously we all use a GP surgery. So every 100 patients that go into a GP surgery, 10 will be carers, 3 to 4 will be caring for more than 20 hours a week, and 2 will be caring for more than 50 hours a week. And one of the important things around a GP, and in talking of identification, is that a GP should have a carer register. And I think, as I say, sorry, it's a mixed audience this morning, but if you're a carer, the important thing is to ensure you're on that carer register. And I think if you're a professional, just ensure in the health, just ensuring that people are registered, because again, it gives us tremendous access to support. We recently did a project with a PCN in Cambridge that had 5 surgeries. And one of the things within that project, we sent out a text to all their carer registered, and it actually identified over 100 carers that were unknown to us as Caring Together, that we were able then to link them in with support. So again, just being on the carer register is just a huge asset on that. I'm now going to just show a video, and the reason I'm going to show this video is because that my team goes out there and does awareness, and we mainly give awareness sessions to professionals. So this is one of the videos we would show to professionals. So just bear with me while I stop sharing and reshare.
I'm going to show you how it works, if that's okay.
Sure.
Yeah. Sure. So you're going to see me on the screen here, and you're going to show me, and you're just basically talking to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to show you.
Hello.
Okay.
Sure. Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Yes, I can.
Yes.
Right.
I can hear you.
Oh, perfect. Can somebody, Brenda, can you just shout when I start the video to make sure you can hear the video, please?
I'll just put my thumbs up. Yeah.
I can't actually see you, so.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. So you're going to see me in the
Yeah.
screen, and you're going to see my face, and you're just basically talking to me.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
You might just have to keep an eye on because.
Okay, so that's how it all works.
Oh,
Look, I was going to say, I can imagine.
honestly, I was expecting this to be a mirror to myself. I would describe myself as bubbly.
She's really caring and she's really chatty.
I love dancing. Dancing's my thing.
She's fun.
She's just so well put together.
I try to always put on a sunny face, I guess.
Would you like an impression?
Hello, how is everyone?
He's very sweet, very, very sweet and very caring, very kind.
Anxious.
She's a very vivacious character.
There are dark days. There are dark days.
Most of the time she's happy.
Sometimes I feel extremely low.
Joyous.
Heavy. Heavy. Yeah.
Very thoughtful, very caring person. He's really lovely.
That honestly, I'm kind of sick of it all. And it's hard for me to say, but there comes a point where you just stop kind of caring as much.
Yeah, I think she's pretty open.
I still don't open up about my relationship. I don't open up about my mental health. I don't open up really about anything.
Does it ever feel that talking to someone might help?
Sometimes I feel like it might, but I struggle to open up to people. I've just built this brigade of walls that I don't know how I'd feel about actually opening up to someone in depth. I don't want to burden them when I don't have to.
I've spent how many years as a kid, and I felt like they've been taken away. And now, even when I'm 20 and I'm just making my way into adulthood, I feel like it's still affecting me quite a lot.
Thinking, oh, no one understands me, feeling very alone. Feeling very, just on my own.
I love you so much. Very much.
Like, I'm such a bad friend.
No, you're not.
I just felt like if you wanted to talk to me about it, you would.
No.
And
It's a hard topic.
I know. Did you see my impression of you?
Hello.
Thank you. Hopefully, can you hear me again? Brenda, can you just confirm? That's perfect. Thank you. I'll start sharing my screen again in my presentation, but the reason, as I say, we show that video again is because when we do awareness sessions, we deal mainly with professionals, and I understand it's quite emotional for most people, but it is just a huge illustration of the caring role. So that's why, and I just wanted to give you that example today of the kind of thing we're showing to professionals. I'll just continue with my presentation. So can you hear me still, Brenda? Okay, cool. So in terms of the services that Caring Together can offer, we have a carers helpline, which is a telephone line which people can phone into, whether you're registered or not registered, and they will then triage anybody that calls into the helpline and offer support, whether it's services we can offer or whether it's other services that we have to pass you on to in that respect. And professionals can also use the carer helpline. And as I say, we have a dedicated team running the helpline. The listening ear service, which is run by mostly volunteers, but that's just a service that we offer so that carers can have a conversation and, as I say, just break a bit of that isolation that the carers often feel. And that can just be a general chat, less detailed about, as I say, the helpline kind of chat, but more about what's going on in the world and just a general conversation. Hubs and peer support, we've been running, obviously during COVID times, our hubs have had to go online, but we now still running virtual hubs, and we've had some face-to-face meetings as well. And that just involves just getting together. Some of our hubs we have where the cared for go into an area for a while, where the carers have a presentation or other activities laid on for them, and the cared for are looked after by some of our care staff. But the other thing with this is it just offers tremendous peer-to-peer support, and that's one thing that carers always talk to us about. It's always nice to hear carers talk to each other and learn that, you know, they're not alone. So, as I say, just getting together that face-to-face and our online support. To be honest with you, once people learn to trust online, I think again that's been a huge asset as well. Carers assessment, as many of you will know, everybody's entitled to a carers assessment. It's something that we don't do in-house. It's done by the county council, but clearly we can help facilitate some of those, navigate their way carers through to getting a carers assessment. We now operate in a counselling service, which runs across Cambridgeshire and Peterborough, which does what it says on the tin. It just offers counselling to carers who need it. Family carers prescription is mainly based around carers getting appointments for their own health appointments. One thing that, as I say, carers unfortunately very often neglect is their own health, but the carer family prescription is there to help and to fund if a carer needs to go in and support the cared for whilst, as I say, a carer has their appointment, and that could be a dentist, doctor's, hospital, or chiropodist, any appointment that aids their health. And a quick example, I gave a talk at Edinburgh recently, and one of the things I mentioned about that was the reception team at Edinburgh, and they had a call the very next day for somebody cancelling an appointment, and she asked whether they were a carer, and they were, so we managed to facilitate getting the carer out to the cared for, and she was able then to attend her appointment. The magazine, we have a quarterly magazine across Cambridge and Peterborough, which again, we encourage all professionals and carers to be signed up for. Just gives information, stories, case studies, best practice in carers' voice. So again, well worth the signing up for that. We've spent a lot of time this year working out around the carer's voice. We've always listened to what the carer has to say, but this year we've got a carer voice and involvement plan, which we're trying to get carers involved with more and more, so we can listen to what carers need and tailor our services towards that carer's voice. Clearly, we can't always with everything because it's some things are beyond our control. Anything internally that we can look at and facilitate, and that's why we love to hear from the carer themselves. Home care, we run within the organisation, we run a home care service. It's a paid for home care service, which obviously anybody can access. So that's there. And when I talk about the what if plan in a minute, the home care service carers are the people who use for the what if plan. We now have a full-time dedicated parent carer lead who's in post. As I say, we still expect all things to go through the helpline, but Carol, our parent carer lead, can also, and probably some of you have met Carol, who is there specifically to look at the parent carer's role and what, again, as an organisation, do and help support. Just wanted to talk very briefly about the what if. It's an emergency planning, and there's one thing whenever I do a presentation, I always say to anybody, if you know any carers or you are a carer, ensure you're signed up for the emergency planning. It's free of charge to sign up. But the beauty of the emergency planning is you give some information, and if for any reason that you cannot access or get home to the carer or cared for whatever reason, you can activate your emergency planning. And then what we do is we ring round your contacts. If they're not available, then what we would do is send out a carer to go and facilitate that, whether it's food that's needed, whether it's medicine needs providing, or anything like that. So again, just we can, in the Q&A, we can just talk about that a bit more. But on the flip side of the emergency planning card, as you can see in the graphic, we've now got a carers card, and we're really working hard with businesses and restaurants to try and ensure that we can get either discounts or to ensure that people understand that you are a carer and you might have the cared for with you. So therefore, you might need a quiet corner or something like that in the restaurant, or even in the shop or something, that you might just need the assistant to do something for you. So as I say, we're working hard with various entities at the moment to work with the carers card. I just wanted to talk about quickly, again, some of the work we do in an awareness team is the carer-friendly tick. And again, whether you're a carer, whether you're a professional on the call, the carer-friendly tick is a set of 5 standards for each of those areas. You see there: education, health, communities, and employers. So this was born out 3-4 years ago from our young carers in education, and they said they didn't feel supported in school. So we asked them what they needed, and so they came back down to 5 standards. That's now running across education, and we have several schools now signed up to the carer-friendly education. And those standards just really work through various things like having a policy, having a carer champion, ensuring you had awareness training from Caring Together, and then they get accredited. But all the accreditations are assessed by a panel of carers. And again, that's listening to the carer's voice of what the carers feel, whether the application is strong enough, whether they feel there's areas that application could be enhanced. And all 4 carer-friendly awards are based around the same 5 standards. So there are slight nuance changes, as you would expect, for employers to health and to education. But currently, across Cambridge, Peterborough and Norfolk now, we've got over 65 organisations signed up for the carer-friendly tick. And we're currently talking to over 100 more who are looking to gain the carer-friendly tick. It lasts for 2 years, and then they're reassessed to ensure that they're still doing the best for carers in their organisation. So again, it's something that if you're employed by somebody and your employer is interested, something we'd love to talk to. If you're a carer and you're going to your GP and they haven't got the carer-friendly tick, it's something you could mention to them, because it's really great for us to have those referrals coming in from the likes of yourself to give us that easy step into any organisation. And that concludes, I've probably gone over my 10 minutes, but that concludes my presentation. I'm not sure in terms of facilitating whether we just go into Q&A now, or is the facilitator still on the call? No. Well, I'll just take, has anybody got any questions about Caring Together, about the presentation that they would like to ask?
Hi, Tony. Thank you for that. I am trying to reconnect. My connection is so poor. You froze there for a few minutes. That's a lot. That's a range of services that you offer there. Because I've not heard of Caring Together before. I've only actually attended one session. Was out there. Are you planning to do any more sessions, like group sessions and drop-in sessions for carers?
To be honest with you, my team, that's all we do. We are an awareness and voice team, so we go out and do awareness sessions. I've got myself and 3 people within Cambridge and Peterborough, and I've got two members of the team in Norfolk. So we're always happy to come along and do some sessions. Our normal sessions around 45 minutes. So today was a absolute quick run through, and we then just have we sometimes have breakout rooms depending on who they are and what the audience is really. So absolutely more than happy to always facilitate some awareness sessions and raise awareness of carers.
Yeah, we did a recent survey, and parental mental health or carer mental health was one of the key things that was highlighted, especially during COVID. Is there a specific piece of work, or is there any evidence you guys have that you present to the powers that be? Because I know the Care Act is great, but the carers assessment is not all that. It feels like a tick box exercise sometimes, especially in other services. Is there a way of specifically addressing mental health issues amongst carers?
I think we always obviously try and get our facts from the right places, in terms of, because obviously given awareness we need to be fairly factual. So I think we try and always accumulate facts, and obviously mental health being, I mean, one of the slides I didn't include today was about the impact, and that mentions about mental health on there. So yeah, we do touch on it, but clearly the other thing that we generally do, and we always encourage with a lot of our awareness talk, is we usually take a volunteer carer with us, and very often their experience touches on that mental health aspect as well, really. But probably to answer you specifically, I don't think we've probably since COVID got any specific facts, additional specific facts around the mental health. But there's new reports coming out all the time that we're clearly keeping our eye on, and will add to our presentation. Is there any other questions specifically for myself?
Well, thank you, Tony. Has anybody else got any questions? Goodness, it's very quiet in here, isn't there? It's gone very quiet, Tony. I've asked all the questions that I wanted to ask. I wondered if anybody else wanted to comment or ask a question.
I think both of you are on together.
Well, thank you, Tony, for your presentation. It looks as though there's no questions, but thank you. I think let me just double check if there's any questions. Oh, okay. Okay, well, thank you, Tony, for that presentation.
That's a pleasure.
Take care. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye.
Is that the session finished then? Nazarene?
Yeah. Has anybody got anything they'd like to discuss or ask? I think we've got 10 people on. That was really useful. I had no idea that they've got a range of services there, haven't they? Can we have some feedback from the participants, please, just in the chat room, to see if they find that useful?
Would you like, it's Tony, would you like me to stay on the call, or have we, I'm not sure whether we've finished or not.
Sorry, can you say that again?
Sorry, I didn't know whether the session was finished and you were just carrying on with your meeting.
No, I think it's finished. Thank you.
Okay,
Very
thank
helpful.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time today.
Well, thank you, everyone. That was nice and short and sweet, but it was really helpful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brenda.
Thank you. Bye.